This is a replica Star Wars E11 blaster rifle I made some years ago now. Might be 4 or 5 years ago. I lose track when I made it now. I was originally making this for a friend of mine who asked me if I'd make him one up, and after I'd made it, I liked it that much I didn't want to sell it, so I kept hold of it. I did actually start making a second one, and the parts from that are actually in my loft. One day I might get round to finishing it off. Right, I made it out of steel, as I do with pretty much all of the stuff I make, all the guns. The only part which isn't up to spec is the grip on it, which is actually made out of wood, and it's a little bit loose there. It's not a perfect fit, but I didn't worry about it very much. Now how they made the original Star Wars E11 blaster rifles for the film, they actually either got original Sterling submachine guns, British Army Sterlings, and converted them for the movie, or they had a few and then the rest of them they duplicated. They got people to make them up to look like Sterlings. They're not Sten guns, as some people like to think. They're actually what came out after the war, the British Sterling submachine gun. Now, what they did for the film is they actually got rubber and fitted rubber into the holes. They just pushed rubber in to hide the fact that it was a Sterling submachine gun. They just pushed rubber across in the end 2 holes just to change its overall look. Now, what I've done is what I've seen possibly a few others done, and I quite like the look of. I just got some metal U-section channel and pop riveted it. I did drill the holes out like the original Sterling would have. I drilled all the holes. I didn't just drill the ones on the bottom. I've actually drilled the others, and then I've pop riveted the steel over the top of it. Now, it's all blued as I normally do. It's oil dunked. Now, the sight that's on it, I was lucky, and I was looking around on eBay at the time, and I managed to find a original World War II American tank sight, which is what they used, or at least what has been used in some of the movies. I can't see all the writing that's on there. Telescope M77C. Now, this is supposedly from World War II, this sight, and as they used now the bolt here on the side. Now, I haven't cut a slot in the side for the cocking bolt as the real one would have, because this is really just like a replica movie prop, but the original one had that there. And what I've done with it is, if I push the back in here, let's get this, the stock slings down like so, and I've made the stock slightly different in design. You see, I've made a little channel, like a J shape in the side. Oh yeah, close it like so. Yeah, so when your shoulder's up against it, it's locked in that part of the J there, and then slides and collapses, and then that swings under the barrel like that. Now, what I've done in here is you then push the rear in here and turn. Right, now you'll see I've got a pin going across in here, and the reason for having that pin going across there is because pushes into this slot, turns and locks. You see, you understand how that works? So there's a slot on each side. Now in here there's a washer with two springs. What did I do? I think I soldered them on. Just normal solder. Soldered two springs onto a washer. Now if I pull that up, you'll see there's a little hole in the centre of it, and that just fits onto the centre of that battery. Locates on the centre there. I've also put a bit of tin foil over it to, well, aluminium foil to stop corrosion on the contacts. Now, basically take that out, and I've got batteries inside here. 1, 2. What would we call these? They're 1.5 volt batteries. The D cell size, is that what we call them? Yeah, D cells, DR20s. Yeah, so you're asking, why have I got batteries inside it? Well, this is, as far as I know, I'm pretty damn certain, this is the world's first version of an E11 blaster rifle with a high-powered laser fitted inside it, or at least what was deemed to be a high-powered laser 4 years ago. It's actually a 90 milliwatt. Now there's much more powerful ones around now, but that's 4 years later for you, isn't it? Now what I actually have inside is a standard one of these laser pointers. As soon as these got on the market, well, I knew about them, and it just so happened that I was asked to make this at the same time. So I said to the guy, well, wouldn't you like it to do more than just be an ornament? So I said, I'll get hold of one of these and I'll fit it in. So I fitted a 90 milliwatt into it. To be honest, at first it was a 20 milliwatt. Then when I saw how good the effect was, I got onto the supplier, Wicked Lasers in America, and he liked what I'd done, so he offered me a decent price on buying a 90 milliwatt and fitting it in. So that's what I did. Okay, I've just turned a couple of the lights off in here so you can see the effect a little bit. Now the last time I did this, I burnt my camera out. It'd be quite obvious why when you see this. You can see if I point this beam into the actual camera lens, it will burn out the CCD chip. Now I have to also watch that I don't point it back and into my eyes. So I'm shining this across the room into a mirror. I have to be careful, do not point it into the camera or my eye. Nearly did then, yeah. So a slight enhancement to this, which I did intend to do, would be to actually fit sound effects into the gun and a pulsing circuit so that the beam of light wasn't continuous like this is. If you see the little streams, the little like flashes in it, that's just dust particles breaking through the laser beam. So yeah, let's see what it looks like outside, because it's now dark outside.